I wake up, I work for a little bit, I might go to the gym, and then I'll watch it in the morning. That has been a fundamental shift that I never thought would happen. I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I would do that. Because I love UFC so much, I want to watch it live. I don't really care as much anymore.
How well you treat the team, how well you treat Taryn, how generous you can be based on how much money you have. Fitness, if you're not weight training, you hate yourself. It's so obvious. You hate it so much. And then you try to tell yourself you don't hate yourself. It's so funny to watch. And then when you don't get up early, you hate yourself when you sleep in.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. I think it should be called Identity Crisis University because Alan and I, based on the conversation Alan and I were just having behind the scenes, it wouldn't be a day if there wasn't a little bit of an identity crisis going on. We are recording this on a Saturday morning. It is chilly out and my window's open and I'm happy as a pig in poop. All right, a simple habit that changes everything. That's what we're talking about today. I wanted to do this episode because I was getting ready to go to bed last night. And it's Friday night. I had just had my dinner. I had just had my protein ice cream. I rolled into the bedroom at like 9:45. Taryn was snugging. And she said, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?" And I said, "Time for bed, babe. 9:45. She's like, "It's 9:45 already?" I said, "Yeah, it's 9:45. Time for bed." Put my mouth tape on, put my nose, I get ready, bed ready. And I'm off to bed and asleep in the next 10 minutes. And Saturday morning, I get up at 6, I actually have been doing my mobility and my learning every day. I feel like a new man.
Nice.
And then I went and I came in the office. I did some deep work and then I went to the gym. And I had so much accomplished by 8 o'clock today because Alan and I were supposed to meet at 9. We ended up moving it back. For me, the one thing, and Alan's going to talk about his, but the one thing that I think you can control that will help every other aspect in your life is when you go to bed and when you wake up. I'm not saying you have to be part of the 4 a.m. club. I'm not saying you have to be part of the 5 a.m. club. I'm not saying that. But if you're going to be disciplined and you're going to be intentional and you're going to build habits during the day, one of the best habits you can build is when you start your day and when you finish your day. And I think that's something that a lot of people talk about. They talk about their morning routine, but they don't talk about their nighttime routine. How do you get to bed on time? And then a lot of people just say, like, I get up at 5 because I want to have, if I get up at 5, I have 4 days in one day instead of one day. Like, no, you don't. You still have one day. It's just longer. So that's that. Go on, sir. Go on with it.
You ever hear people say, I get more done by 9 a.m. than you do all week?
Yes.
No, you don't. No, you definitely don't.
Yeah.
But I think those are funny sort of other side of the spectrum grind hacks. Remember that one time on the podcast when I said pro tip?
Pro tip, yeah.
Yeah, pro tip.
I don't like to name drop people, but I saw a clip of Ed Milet, and he's like, when I get up at 5, I have 4 days in one day. Like, I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. I've gotten up at 5 too. I still have one day inside one day. Like, well, no, I do these 4 times. It's like, I don't think so. I think it looks really good on a social media clip, and maybe in your mind, awesome. If that's the reframe, awesome. But I think it's fairly useless. I do. I think it's fairly useless information.
That is alarming and mathematically inaccurate, but that's all good. That's all good. So at NLU, we try to be as practical as possible. We try to be as accurate as possible. And I think that ultimately, as I get older, that's all that really matters. It's what you say, think, do, feel, and believe. So my linchpin is what Kevin called it in the sort of preamble. What is a preamble, man? We just started saying that way back. Is it actually called a preamble? I should look that up.
It is, yeah, preamble. Yep.
How do I spell
means before.
Preamble.
Yeah.
A preamble is an introductory statement that explains the purpose and philosophy of a document.
Yeah, I would say close, pretty close. Close enough, I'd say.
The preamble sets the stage for the Constitution. So we've been saying preamble for 7 years. It's basically a pre-podcast conversation.
I like preamble, just like sometimes I will use fall down 7 times, get up 8. I will. And I'll see if somebody picks up on it.
Sounds a lot like what Ed Milet said. All right, so I always like to have Google up just because for some reason I love Googling stuff on podcasts now. So the Emilia and I for 35 days, so she has a group coaching program, and in her group coaching program, they all set a 90-day goal. And hers was be in the bedroom by 10 p.m. every single night for 90 days. And we have a metric on our whiteboard in the center of our home. Right now we're at 35 out of 90. Now, it doesn't mean we have to be in bed. It doesn't mean we're going to sleep. It means we're in the bedroom and the pets are away. Our pets are crate trained for sleep time. So 9:50, the Alexa, I don't want my Alexa to go off. The Alexa starts an automation with a deep sleep playlist, which tells Emilia and I, ooh, R&R is over now. And
Your
it's
8
time.
minutes of R&R is up.
Yeah. Last night we got an hour and 20. World class. That I haven't felt that much R&R in weeks. I'm not even kidding. So that goes off, and immediately that means we have 10 minutes to get back in the bedroom. And so dishes, pets away, everything, heat/AC, because the fall is coming essentially, and it's sometimes really hot, sometimes really cold. But we have to be in the bedroom at 10. And then after that, she has a journaling habit, and we do what we do, and all the happy, awesome stuff. But ultimately, we've done that for 35 days in a row. And I have been waking up pretty early. And again, early for me. I'm not 6 a.m. But I got a 89 sleep score last night.
My goodness.
And I went to bed. So let me just pull up my...
We're not
really
sponsored
quickly.
by Aura Ring.
Not yet.
We
No,
do like them.
We're not. We do love them. Big
we
fan.
do like them, though.
So total sleep, 8 hours and 14 minutes. Time in bed, 8 hours and 59 minutes. Resting heart rate, 39 beats per minute.
Olympic.
Sleep efficiency, 92%. Sleep score, 89. Bunch of REM sleep, bunch of deep sleep. Great. Excellent. Wonderful. And I was cooked from a long week because of Friday night. I personally love the fact that we've been doing that. And I told Emilia, there's a part of me that hates it. Because there is a part of me that loves to eat a big meal and watch a whole movie and R&R for 2.5 hours. Like every now and then, I need to stop saying like, every now and then I do enjoy going off the effing rails. Now, when I say off the effing rails, way back in the day, that would mean I would party for an entire weekend. Off the rails now is we're not going to bed at 10. Now, the part of this I haven't told you yet is that we take Saturdays off of this. So we do Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. in the bedroom, and Sunday nights. So that the week, because we work Monday through Saturday, front-facing 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Often it's more than that, quite frankly. But that's the front-facing thing. And so we take Saturdays. So Saturday night is our night to run amok. Meaning we don't have a bedtime. Let's go. Let's stay up till 2 a.m. We don't. We still end up going to bed probably around midnight. But that's the linchpin to my week, where it has been tremendous the amount that has helped my productivity. I told Emilia we were on a walk last night. We were walking little Tucker around the neighborhood, 40-minute walk. And I said, this is the most productive, constructive, effective, and efficient I've ever been in my entire existence. And it's unbelievable what this is building for our future. And I remember when I first turned 30, and this was 5 years ago, I said my 30s are going to be about building. I think my 20s were about experimenting and learning and massive pain and failure. And my 30s are going to be about building. Everything I do and don't do is predicated on building toward a bigger, better, brighter future. Everything. And I know that that's excessive, and I am excessive, but the one thing that has helped me build at such a better level is going to the bedroom at 10 p.m. It has been a massive change. It's been hard to hold the line. It really has, because I was used to staying up till 11 or midnight. It's easier for you. You've been doing it for years.
It still
But
sucks.
now that we're 35 days in, it's starting to feel a little easy. Now, I got to stay humble. But I get so much done in the morning now.
I have noticed, I don't even know how to explain this. You know how, and maybe your experience is different, but I know when I first started building habits, it was almost like one day it just felt like it stuck. It's like, that's a habit now. Now, I can feel it. I can feel the difference between today and yesterday. I don't know how to explain it. When I was jeffing for a time where I was hitting snooze. Remember I would say that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting snooze and I'm getting up at like 6:30.
You hate yourself when you hit snooze, man.
I absolutely hate myself.
I know. Dude,
I'm the freaking worst when I hit snooze. I hate it.
Quick side tangent. I'll be so quick, I promise. Please hold your thought. I want to make sure you get it out. I've been studying Kevin for 7 years.
What a terrible course you signed up for. The study of Kevin.
So important. The things that you tie your self-esteem to are so simple. It's how well you treat the team, how well you treat Taryn, how generous you can be based on how much money you have. Fitness. If you're not weight training, you hate yourself. 100%. It's so obvious. You hate it so much. And then you try to tell yourself you don't hate yourself. It's so funny to watch. And then when you don't get up early, you hate yourself when you sleep in.
100%.
Those are the 5 things you need to do to feel good about Kevin. It's really not much else. Oh, and you need to be able to have enough money for food that you want and UFC. That's pretty much it. That's Kevin in a nutshell right there. And the reason I'm saying all that, side tangent, maybe we'll do an episode on this, for the listeners out there, you have to figure out, if you want to be fulfilled and successful, what you tie your self-esteem to. Because I think most of it's unconscious. I don't think you can really change it. I think you can uncover it. I mean, obviously, neuroscientifically, you can change it over decades or whatever, but screw that. Figure out what...
should you even? Sarah and I were talking about that today. I got home from the gym, and I was like, you ever seen anything like this in your entire life? And I was flexing on her, because I always do that when I get back from the gym. And I did shoulders today, and she's like, you really do love yourself, huh? And I said, and then we had a deep conversation about it. I said, I do. I do. I love myself. And I said, but it's interesting because I love myself more when I'm pouring into myself.
Yeah, of course.
And I said, so it wasn't from an ego place, but I said, yeah, I think I should have the opportunity to love myself more, because the truth of the matter is I love myself less when I'm not pouring into myself. And it was a really fun conversation to have right after the gym, because I was in a goofy mood. But
you were fulfilled. That's what that was. That's fulfilled. And you're 100%. Not fulfilled when those things aren't happening, and that's okay. And I think knowing that about yourself is self-awareness.
I agree. So this is what I was saying. I was hitting snooze for a while. Don't like myself when I'm hitting snooze. Don't like it. Not happy. I wake up disappointed. And now it went from I have on my watch 6, 6:01, 6:02, 6:03, 6:04, 6:05. I don't want to hit snooze. I genuinely want to know if I hit snooze, it's going off in a minute. Not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, not 15. It's going off in 1 minute. And then it's going to do that 4 more times. Just get up. It would be, It's a little hack.
Yeah.
Little pro tip. It would be 6 o'clock, and then it would do 6:01, 6:02, 6:03, 6:04, and then I would get up on 6:05. Couple days. Then it was 6:04. Then it was 6:03. Then it was 6:02. Then it was 6:01. Then it was 6.
Nice.
And I saw that actually happening. It was like, oh my goodness, this is progress. This is what progress feels like when you actually have a measurement of progress. Today, I think it was 6:03.
Ooh.
I jeffed it a little bit. Yeah, I was
How
like,
dare you?
I was like, Saturday, I'm going to live a bit.
From the kid who doesn't even set an alarm.
Yeah, right. 2 minutes extra. I deserve it. But I have gotten to this point too. You know how I used to stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning on Saturday to watch UFC?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stay up until 10 or 11, and I get up at 6 o'clock on Sunday, and then I watch it sometime on Sunday morning instead. Instead of staying up super late and jeffing my entire Sunday,
nice.
I wake up, I work for a little bit, I might go to the gym, and then I'll watch it in the morning.
Smart.
Before Taryn gets up, or as she's up, and we don't really do anything until the afternoon usually anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been a fundamental shift that I never thought would happen. I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I would do that. Because I love UFC so much, I want to watch it live. I don't really care as much anymore. Next Level Nation, what is happening? If you've thought to yourself, I want to try coaching, but you don't really know where to start, group coaching would be a wonderful place for you. That's really why we created it in the first place. We start a new round every 90 days. So if you're hearing this, go to the website, nextleveluniverse.com, and we have the landing page where you can actually hold your spot right now. Even if there's a group going on right now, you can still lock your spot for the next one. The biggest thing that we've seen is as we get closer and closer to the date, unfortunately, some people end up missing. the group fills up and they can't do it, and then they end up regretting that. So please head over to the website. The link will be in the show notes, and we would love to see you there.
Isn't it so fascinating? Emilia and I, our anniversary, our 5-year anniversary is coming up. It's on my calendar. It's October. I have to look at my calendar, to be honest with you. And the reason why I want to give a little context to this is because I don't know if we're going off when I asked her to be with me or if we're going off when we met. So if it's when I asked her to be with me, I believe it's October 29th. If it's when we met, I think it's October 16th. I'm not sure of that, so I got to look at the calendar. So it's obviously October 29th. No, I don't know. It's one of those two. Anyways, I saw it in my calendar because I was on with my EA, and we prepare for Q4. And I was talking to Emilia about all the things we used to do and not do that we're so much more evolved. And she has a company called Evolve Ventures, so evolve is her number one core value, essentially. And evolve just means improve yourself, improve who you are, upgrade. Some of the ways we used to operate were just dumb. Dude, think about the way we used to play. Remember when we would nap like regularly?
Oh, I love those days. I miss those days.
So
I learned that from you.
It was so good for your brain. Really good. Naps are good for your brain. So for the nappers out there, keep it up. Good for your brain. But remember, something's going to take a hit. But even something as simple as I always talk about the automated shades. I used to every morning wake up and open my own shades. And now we have automated shades that open and close at a certain time. You don't realize until later when you look down the mountain and realize how ineffective and inefficient you were. You and I, every now and then, will go back to old episodes. Mm-hmm. And Emilia and I just completed our 39th Relationship Talks virtual event. And even though each event still feels like hot garbage sometimes, it never is, because our new worst is better than our old best. And someone reached out and said that was the best event you guys have ever done. And this person's been to 20 of them. Mm. And I said, I agree. And incremental improvements are the most powerful thing. The Compound Effect is a book you're reading. Incremental improvements are the most powerful thing in the entire world. This one linchpin, you saying, I never thought I would ever do that. Dude, you may never go back. You might do that forever because going back is going to be so much less productive.
Yeah. It's hard to know. I think if it's, I don't know, maybe if it's a special occasion or a special fight, I don't know. I just like getting up at 6.
You think you'll ever go back to 2 a.m.s?
If so, I'll get up at 6.
4 hours of sleep?
Come on, man. That's nothing for the kid. You know what I mean? It's not good. I'm not saying it's good for me, but I can operate on 4 hours. On a Sunday, it's not like I'm not front-facing. I'm not doing interviews. I'm not doing coaching calls. So it's not necessarily like I have to be cognitively optimal.
Can you give us an example of something you used to do that in hindsight was just so stupid?
It's hard to know. Things change they either change so quickly or they take so long to change that you forget.
Here's one thing we've been doing. We're using the air fryer constantly. When we go on our walks, the food's done by the time the prep for an air fryer is nothing. All you got to do is clean that thing once a week. It's awesome.
Once a week, once a month, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Either way, totally fine. Depending on how many spices we used. Love the air fryer. Game changer. Instapot. Unbelievable. I can't believe I used to meal prep and do I remember I took a half a day to meal prep back in the day. What a giant waste of time.
Lately, I have been cooking my rice every day based on your suggestion.
Rice cooker?
Every day.
Game changer, man. It's always fresh rice.
It's always fresh rice. It's so much easier to eat. I don't ever waste it because I only cook the amount that I'm ready to eat. I appreciate that. That's been a game changer for me for sure. I'll cook 4 pounds of ground beef twice a week at night, and then I cook rice every day, and then I just microwave my vegetables. I looked at the vegetables you're talking about. I can't see any micronutrient profile on there. It doesn't say anything about them.
It's probably not great then.
Just like there's potassium in this, pretty much. Like there is some potassium in this. Congrats. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I do take a daily multivitamin, but it's not the same, obviously.
Right.
You know. What else? Is there anything else that I would say? I had one.
I said stupid. I don't want to be unkind. I'm being playful, obviously. Everyone does stupid things, including myself, all the time.
That's the beauty. The beautiful thing is I'll be saying something in 6 months that I'm doing right now. Like, yeah, no, I didn't realize. A really good example is I don't look at my phone first thing in the morning anymore.
Nice. Game changer.
I don't look at my emails first. It's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge. I wake up. I come in here. I get my Zoa, my energy drink. Go in the living room. I turn on the backlights of the TV so it illuminates it in a nice orange glow, which I love. I love lights. I have a weird thing with lights. I don't know, something going on with that. I have to do some childhood experiment. I have to look back into the childhood. I don't know where that came from. But I'll do my yoga while listening to a book, and then I come into the office and then I start working.
Nice.
And that's as of this week. So yeah, I've been doing the other way for a long time. And I feel infinitely better.
What are the tiny changes that you can make that will make a big difference long term? Quitting drinking is one of my big ones. That's not a tiny change. I think that's a big change, but everything changed after that. That one habit of I drink alcohol versus I don't drink has changed my life to such a drastic extent. And this life that I'm living right now would be impossible if I didn't make that change. It changed everyone I spend time with. It changed what I invest my time and effort into. How much money have I saved?
Do you remember when you and I had a studio and I would get a coffee every single time?
Yeah, for both of us.
Every single time I would get a coffee.
Too large. They were bomb. You and me.
Yeah, they were really good. Large, iced caramel swirl, extra almond milk, 2 sugars is what I used to get. And I would get maybe a breakfast sandwich, or I would get something. It wouldn't just be a coffee usually. And then when we had the studio, I would get breakfast all the time. That breakfast was awesome, and it was somehow unreasonably cheap. But I would get breakfast.
That's why they went out of business. Did they go out of business?
They did. It wasn't. Yeah, it's because somebody that had more money than they did built a restaurant in the same building. You can't compete with that.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
The other reason it was cheap is college kids. There was a lot of college kids in that area. Yep.
Yeah. That food was so good. But that was an L at the time. It seemed really nice. But the coffee thing was big. I was spending I was probably spending $20 a week at least on coffee.
More than that, because I was getting them too.
Yeah, but we weren't.
So
I wasn't going to the studio every day.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So that's just an example. All right, what's your quick takeaway so we can let the folks go?
Take out your journal, agenda, Dreamliner, whatever, piece of paper. Write out 3 habits that you know are no longer serving you. Pick the top one and switch it with an empowering alternative.
Boom. Mine would be, when you have the opportunity to reflect, look at all the things that you have the opportunity to laugh at in a positive way. Like Alan said, it's a stupid thing, but not in a bad way. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means that you didn't know yet. You didn't know yet, right? I'm sure there's things we do with the podcast that at one point were mind-blowing, and now it's like, yeah, that's what you do. There's a lot of that stuff. We record our audio natively. I don't know anybody else that does that. Bianca and Amelia do.
Nice.
Bianca and Amelia do theirs natively, I believe, based on...
We have great audio quality. When I go on other shows with low audio quality, I was on a show yesterday, 90 episodes, and this guy had no idea how much Zoom filters audio and how bad it was, so I had him switch to the other setting. It's just cool. What you accumulate, you learn a lot. Yeah.
100%. All right.
That's you, brother. You were an audio stickler.
I was obsessed with audio quality. I still am. I just know now it's different because when you're not together, we're in different places of the world, different
Remember
studios.
we used to face each other?
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, just now it seems weird. We did that for 1,750 episodes.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember when we used to face each other? Let's do it. Hello, Kevin.
Well, we used to do that in the studio. We used to face each other in real life. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, we're going to go because if not, we're just going to reminisce on old times, which Alan and I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to evolve and hopefully make progress in life, love, health, and wealth, our 16th round of group coaching starts on October 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you get to the checkout, you can use a discount code, NLU Listener, and it will take 30% off the total price. Ends up being $96.60 per month, and you get 4 calls per month. So it's $24 per call. Super, super, super affordable. And if you don't find value, we will give you your money back. That's the way we do that. If you get to the end and you say, this is terrible, well, don't get to the end because you can't eat all of the pizza and then say you didn't like the pizza. It doesn't really work that way. But if you take a bite out of the pizza and you don't like it, we're happy to give you your money back.
1 slice. We'll let you do 1 slice.
Yeah, you can do 1 slice. But if you eat the whole pie,
yeah.
oh, you know what? The last bite, I realized I don't really like this.
Yeah, I'm going to need my money back. So this is the Next Level Dreamliner. If you're on YouTube, I'm showing it. It's climbing the metaphorical mountain. Take your big dreams, break them down into annual goals, break them down into quarterly milestones, and break those down into inch pebbles, daily inch pebbles, and metrics. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. This is a journal that I use, a planner that I use every single day. It is very noticeable when I don't use it. We have them on Amazon. We've got dark blue, light blue, and black, hardcover and paperback. And if you're not in Next Level Nation, click the link in the show notes. There's a post right now that I just put in there that shows the inside. You've got gratitudes, most important tasks, most important win, most important improvement, and then your next level lesson. So if you do listen to this podcast every day to improve every day, you have a next level lesson that you can write in there every single day.
I'm genuinely sad mine hasn't come yet. I am looking for it every day. I don't know where it is. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's on its way. It took me, I was sad for 12 days.
Could you put it on your list to check for me?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to do it right now, but
it will come. But for 12 days, we would get Amazon packages, and I'd get so pumped, and I'd open them and go, ugh.
It
new
seems
tablecloth.
like you're the issue. Yeah, new tablecloth. You're the issue with the shipping because other people I've talked to have gotten it almost immediately.
I don't know why.
I'm going to blame you.
Me personally.
Yes, it's your fault.
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead, quickly.
I'm putting it on my list.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's so hard. You want to talk about not knowing the value of something until you lose it? I need to know. I need to know when this thing's coming.
I got to give you the login, man, because this
I don't
is
need your
technically
Amazon. Oh, yeah.
No, it's not mine. It's NLU. NLU has our own
talk
account.
about that. We'll talk about that off the scenes. All right. As always, behind the scenes, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.